lot of us will probably be buying flowers for Valentine's Day, or maybe for Rebecca in anticipation of her baby. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a fancy arrangement to get some beautiful blooms.
No, apparently not. We're going to show you how you can create your own arrangement using flowers from your bodega or your grocery store. Joining us live this morning, Sarah Schreiber van Wingerden, Associate Editorial Director for MarthaStewart.com. Sarah, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming and helping us clean up our acts.
Of course.
Big time.
We love a good flower, and we also love money in our pocket.
Absolutely.
So you're going to show us how to combine the two. So what's the first thing we need to get started?
Absolutely. The first thing that you need, obviously, is a vase, right? You want a vase with a little bit more of a narrower opening, which is really, really great for beginners. Too much of a mouth, more blooms you need to fill.
Things are falling all over the place.
Right? Exactly. Also something to really have on hand, shears. I'm using plain old kitchen shears. There are flower arranging shears. You can use a knife if you're careful.
Okay.
And last but not least, this is optional, not mandatory, but this is called a flower frog.
The flower frog.
That's what it is.
frog.
I know.
I was calling it a doohickey.
Yes.
There's an actual
The
word
doohickey
for
works
it.
What
too.
is a flower? It looks like a weapon. What is that?
You know, you have to be careful with it. It's very sharp. But
May
if
we
you
touch?
You absolutely may. If you stick it in the bottom of your arrangement, the stems go right on top.
Oh, okay.
And it helps them stay a little bit better. The alternative to this is also floral tape. We are not using that today. Again, it's not mandatory.
Sarah, may I just ask?
It's not mandatory.
So for the flower frog, let's do a close-up again. So it would go straight into this, but then it needs water.
It does. This goes in the bottom of your vase.
And the water is all
See, you know,
And the water is already there.
You can class up your act.
How are you going to fit that, though, in that
We're
one?
not. This is just for
never
show.
mind.
This is just for show.
We are not advanced.
The size of the vessel you
We
need
are
for that one is
starting
different.
basic
Yes, okay.
beginner today.
Got it.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's what we are.
That's right.
Exactly.
We are beginners.
So shopping for flowers, what should we be looking for in terms of this flower's about to die, this flower, or it's not open yet? How do we decide?
Absolutely. Freshness is really important. So you want to make sure that there are no gummy stems at the bottom of it, of a bunch of flowers. You want to make sure petals aren't brown, nothing wilting, nothing drooping. You don't really have to worry so much about tight buds, especially if you're working with a carnation. If you massage the head of our carnation when it's really tight, it's really crazy. This is one of my favorite tricks I've ever learned from a florist. And you peel the petals back. These were so tight when I bought them yesterday, and they look like peonies. Isn't that amazing?
So they were tight, and you massaged.
You massage the top, and then you can peel the petals back. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can do. Yeah.
Carnations love a good massage. That's why. They always have.
They're like us.
Yeah, exactly.
I,
loosen up.
I have been told that peonies, if they're too tight, they will not open. Like if they're completely covered in green. Is that a fallacy? Did I make that up in my head?
No.
I know you were not an arborist, but
well, you'll wait a little bit longer to see the reward.
to see the whole business.
So you want to pick things that are just starting to bloom. You don't want something totally blossomed. It's great to buy lilies when they're nice and tight. Yeah. So you can enjoy them over the next few days.
What about, on occasion I've seen roses that look great, but then just the very outer petals are brown. Is it to peel them off? Is that okay? Or is that still a sign this is going to go in a hurry?
Well, it depends on how brown they are. You can get away with some browning on the sides. When you get home, when you're prepping your flowers, which we'll talk about, you just want to take that petal off.
Okay.
And you can just toss it. And that's it.
Or put it in your bath.
Work with
Have
it.
a bath with some rose petals.
Right, and if it's Valentine's Day, you know, little rose petal lining the doorway, right?
I like it.
Plenty to work with.
Okay, phew, the moment we've been waiting for. Let's attempt.
What was this rule of threes?
Yes,
So tell us how we
Definitely.
should think moving forward.
Absolutely. Rule of threes comes down to your focal flowers. I've identified and placed your greenery for you already. So we've created a base for our arrangement that's really important to do first. And then
the greenery first. I always did it last.
No, greenery is
How
first.
many times have I told you? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is just how we do it, guys. So you start with the greenery, right? We created a little bit of a nest on the bottom by Xing and making crisscrosses. And now we're ready to place our focal flower. We're using roses and actually a tulip today as our focal flowers.
Aww.
Yes, Chris, rule of threes, right? When you're working with a flower that's like your focal point, you want to go ahead and place them in clusters of 3. Or if you're working with a bigger arrangement, we are not, but if you were, you go ahead and you stick to odd numbers, 5, 7, 9. The reason being, nature is not perfect, so our arrangements shouldn't be either. So,
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and place our focals in nice clusters of 3.
I have a question about the focals. Is the first thing you do when you come home with the flowers, trim them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. So when
Which
you
you
get
have
home,
done
make
for
a fresh
us.
cut.
I have
You're
done that
our
for
friend.
you.
Fresh cut. Okay.
Yes.
But for the folks at home, what you want to do when you get home is go in on a 45-degree angle and trim, this maximizes water absorption, and it will ultimately help your arrangement last a lot longer.
I didn't know the 45-degree angle.
See?
45 degree.
That I didn't know
Okay.
either.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the focal flower, and then
And then we move on to filler. As the name
Fillers.
implies, this just rounds out our arrangement.
Okay.
So we're
Gave
gonna.
me better filler than
you know
yours.
what? Take your
you have
filler.
more.
Look at my filler.
You have
Look
more.
how much filler I
All
have.
right, so you can have mine if you'd like it.
I don't. You know what?
She gets very jealous about
I
the filler.
do.
Okay, so
And
we're gonna
this is
go ahead.
there's no science to it. You go
No.
to wherever it looks like it's pretty.
You do, and this is, if folks at home, if you have a lazy Susan, this is a great opportunity to use it. You pull that out, and then you just spin, 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 and you can identify those holes a lot easier. Okay, so we're working with
Alright.
stock right now. We can move right on to our carnations. These are
Yep.
variegated. They're beautiful. Stick those in.
And what is
One,
this?
2.
Hey, what's this fella? Very
Aptly
pretty.
named chocolate lace, perfect for Valentine's Day.
Chocolate lace.
Yep,
I've never
it's-
seen this kind.
Yep,
I
it's
like
a
it.
derivative of Queen Anne's lace, and
that
but
one I
darker
know.
and nice and chocolatey and burgundy for
Look at you knowing your
Valentine's
Queen Anne's
Day.
lace.
I knew Queen Anne's
I
lace.
didn't know you knew Queen Anne's lace.
Well, now you know.
All right, I don't know how to. What?
Wow, look
Don't
at
be-
you.
don't
No,
You did it.
No, this is nice.
That looks
but you
beautiful.
have one that didn't make its way in. You have
Yeah.
you have a guy that's making an escape. Your chocolate lace.
You know, you should put them all in the water.
You should aim for the vase for sure.
That's the starter.
Definitely.
What should it look like at the end?
Okay.
Something beautiful.
So we have a beautiful
something other than
finished
this.
completed arrangement over there, but it really should look something like this.
Look
And
at
everybody's work is so
that.
beautiful, and it's a really great way to just save some money. Something like this could cost $80, $100 from a
Yeah.
florist, but
Happy everything to you.
You're so
This is it. Now you're covered.
Thank you. I would
Birthday,
like-
Valentine's
I'd
Day,
like
it's
to
done.
thank the
We're done.
Academy and all the flower goddesses everywhere. for
Real
the-
quick,
this
water
is
level.
fantastic. Oh yeah.
5 inches of water, aim for that.
At all times.
At all times, right? And to do that, you really should be changing the water every other day. That will also prolong the life of the
So don't just
arrangement as well.
refill.
Don't refill.
Change the water.
Yep, you got to be a
And everybody
little.
comes
You got to be a
out.
little
See?
careful. Change it out. Eliminates
These are
bacteria.
all great things. I've
Yeah.
never. I learned today.
A lot of
Thank you
good
so
things.
much. Wow.
My
I
flowers are gonna
this.
love me a little bit more now.
Yes, this is fantastic. Thank you
Sarah,
so much,
thanks.
Sarah.
Of
That was
course. Thank
wonderful.
you so
Awesome
much for
stuff.
having me. Thank you.